COVID. And I mean,
All right.
I'm not
Good evening.
contagious now, but I mean, I didn't want to be in that room with you guys.
All right.
So we were gonna, anyway.
Okay, Frank.
I got to interrupt. We are now live. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Tuesday, July 12th, 2022 meeting of the Yellow Springs Planning Commission. My name is Frank Doden, and I'll be chairing this meeting tonight. Sorry for any confusion about the move back to a virtual meeting. Hopefully the agenda is uncomplicated enough tonight, so it shouldn't cause a problem.
Should not.
Frank, did you freeze?
I think he did.
Wow. I just thought he was being very placid. I will just go ahead and call the roll slowly as Frank comes back to us.
Okay.
We had expected Gavin, DeVore, Leonard. Carmen, are you in for Gavin this evening?
I just spoke with Gavin and he said that he was going to be here.
I did as well. So I expect him any moment. Oh, and there he is. So I'll slowly slow down the roll call there. So we'll start with Greene.
Here.
Hello.
Stiles.
Here.
Doden.
Can you hear me now?
We
Yes.
can.
Okay, I disappeared from the screen for a couple of minutes or so there, but apparently I'm back now.
We're just slowly calling the roll as people come on. So we just called Doden. You're here, and DeVore Leonard.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, that is it. I guess we do not have Scott Osterholm, so that's it. Also
But,
present is Planning and Zoning Administrator Denise Swinger.
My audio is getting a little bit broken up from people, and the video seems to be kind of broken up as well. Nobody's moving. Can people hear me?
Yes. Are you on our public Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Darn those government services.
Not on an iPad. Yeah. Well, I guess if people can hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'll just go ahead and review the agenda for tonight. Where the first thing that we'll do is review the minutes from our last meeting, which was on May 10th, 2022. Then we'll just briefly talk about the communications that Planning Commission has received. Then we'll have a time for council and committee reports. Carmen, are you doing council report tonight?
That is actually going to be Gavin did pop on while you were off, and so Gavin is the lead from council.
Oh, so is Gavin doing it?
It'd be Gavin, yeah.
Gavin is doing it.
Okay. And then after the council report,
Oh, I can hear him next door, but not on the Zoom. Hold on. One moment.
Well, while we're waiting, I'll just use this quick moment to say hi. Nice to meet you all that I haven't met in person. I think I've engaged with all of you in some way in the community, but hi, I'm Gavin. Nice to meet you.
you want to go tell them that's what I'm going to do? Okay. I'm just going to go to her office.
We're just going to share. Oh, it's a furniture. All right, take it away. You shouldn't need me
My Wi-Fi at home. All right.
right there. Just make sure you're in the picture, and I don't really need to be on screen anyway, so.
If I just talk, will people hear me?
We can hear you.
You hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
You might need to turn your volume up a little bit because I'm having a hard time hearing people.
Right.
All right, sorry for the interruptions. I was reviewing the agenda. So Gavin is going to be giving the council report, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, good. After that, we'll have a period for citizen comments, and that's for items that are not on the agenda for tonight. Then we have one public hearing. Don't see anything listed on old business. We have one new business, a request for a one-year extension of a conditional use permit, agenda planning, and adjournment. So let's move on then to the review of the minutes from our Tuesday, May 10th, 2022 meeting. So any members of the Planning Commission, does anybody have any additions or corrections for anything on page 1? About page 2? Or page 3? Okay, I'll move that we approve the minutes.
I second it.
The clerk call the roll, please.
Yes, Stiles,
Yes.
Greene,
Yes.
War Leonard,
Yes.
Bowden.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, then on communications, we had a couple of letters, one regarding the entrances to the Glass Farms estates. What were the other letters that we had?
Matt Raska.
Oh, the letter from Matt Raska having to do with the parking permit or parking requirements, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So-
Zine.
Okay. Let's go on to the council report then. Kevin?
Yeah, I think the only relevant update is that council passed a resolution or ordinance, sorry, I don't even know the right words here, to give money to Home Inc. They're in the process of sort of reimagining the senior living project. And so it seems like very early stage, but just giving you a heads up that there were some resources moved there. I don't think there's anything else, but of course, if Judy, Denise, Carmen have anything else I should have said, jump on in.
Anybody else? Anything you missed, Carmen?
No, he's good. You're good.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll have the time for citizen comments. And again, this is for any comments anybody wants to make about any item that is not on tonight's agenda. So since we're virtual, we'll give anybody out there in the virtual world a few seconds to either electronically raise their hand or yodel or wave, something to try to get our attention. I'm not seeing anything.
We appear to be opinion free.
Yeah. Okay, not seeing anything, so let's move on to the public hearing then.
Okay.
Denise, would you like to go over the
Sure.
staff report?
Sure. So Jonathan Meier has a company called Rain Brothers, and he installs commercial and residential rain cisterns. He is looking to take over the Soundspace building that is under the ownership of Mr. Hertzler, and he gave permission for him to be able to speak on this use tonight. The contractor's office component of this is already a permitted use in the industrial district. So why he is here tonight is only for the outdoor storage. And that outdoor storage, as I'm showing in the staff report, is actually going to be located at the rear of the building. It won't be in the front. That is one of our gateway districts. So it is allowed there, especially with the outdoor storage being in the rear, and he will have a fence around it as well. And that's pretty much it. He is here tonight if you want to ask him any specific questions about it. But as, again, the actual use as a contractor's office is permitted. It's just the outdoor storage that we're here to talk about.
Do any members of Planning Commission have any questions for Denise about the staff report? Or is there any questions for Jonathan? Or Jonathan, would you like to say anything about the application right now?
Just to echo what Denise said, we're looking just to store things outside in the rear. It would be completely concealed from the road. And again, we intend to fence in the rear of the property, so it would be concealed by the fence as well. But I've been in business 16 years. I've had several different locations for our company over the years, and I've always tried to be respectful of the neighbors. And we only operate during business hours. We have minimal truck deliveries, very, very infrequent, actually. We're a small company of four. There's only 4 of us, including myself. So we're just intending to be a respectful neighbor, and at the same time, really desire to operate business at this location. And yeah.
So, Jonathan, go ahead, Susan.
I was just going to ask Jonathan if the storage in the rear, if any of that will be used to show customers that this is a product that they might want.
We don't have storefront hours or anything like that.
Okay.
There would be maybe 2 customers a month stopping by to look at some of our products, but it's not intended to showcase anything.
Okay.
And Jonathan, the fence you're going to put up is a chain link fence or a privacy fence?
We intend to put a wooden fence, privacy
Okay.
fence up. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And are you thinking about like fencing the whole property or just a part of it?
Just essentially, there's already a tree line that borders the property. So it's mainly just the front. And I did sketch it out. And I don't know if that sketch is available, but it shows the parameters of the fence, the intended parameters of the fence. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Exhibit C in the packet.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions any members of Planning Commission have? Okay, thank you, Jonathan. I'm going to go ahead then and open the public hearing for this conditional use. And so if there are any members of the public who'd like to comment on this, again, electronically raise your hand or wave or give an audio cue that you'd like to speak, and we'll give everybody a few seconds to chime in. Okay, not seeing anybody. Everybody else seeing anybody?
I also, Frank, didn't get any letters from neighbors.
Okay, I was going to ask about that.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and bring it back to Planning Commission. Are there any concerns or questions anybody else has right now? Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use application submitted by Jonathan Meier.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Okay, would the clerk call the roll, please?
Yes, Greene,
Yes.
Stiles,
Yes.
DeVore Leonard,
Yes.
Doden.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. There you go. That's all done. Thank you for coming tonight, Jonathan,
Thank you so much.
and good luck.
Thank you,
Thanks, Jonathan. Good luck.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, that's the only public hearing we have tonight. We don't have anything listed under old business, right?
No, we don't.
And one of the items that we had for new business was canceled. So the only item that we have under new business is a request for a 1-year extension of a conditional use permit for 241 Xenia Avenue. Denise?
Oh, yeah, so this is, I can't believe 2 years has gone by already, but this was the original concept was the hair salon that was going to be downstairs with the residential above. I don't know exactly where they're at on if they're still going to do the hair salon or some other type of business, but it was more about the residential above that created the conditional use requirement. They are still moving forward with that. And so with the 2 years being up, they're entitled to a 1-year extension before that would expire and would require them to completely come back again and resubmit. So they are asking for this 1-year extension.
So the plans basically haven't changed in any substantial way.
Well, yeah, I don't know about the downstairs concept of the hair salon, if that's
Yeah,
hair and nail salon. I don't know, but no, the rest I think is the same.
yeah, but then it's going to be business downstairs and then residential upstairs.
Residential upstairs, yes.
And do they have to have it completed within a year, or they just have to start construction?
They have to have construction started.
Okay.
Within a year.
Okay.
Any other questions any members of the planning commission have? Do we need to have a public hearing on this?
We do not.
Okay. Yeah. All right, we don't have to have a public hearing on this. If there's no questions, I'll make a motion that we approve the 1-year extension of the conditional use permit for 241 Xenia Avenue.
Okay, I'll second it.
And would the clerk call the roll, please?
Yes, DeVore Leonard,
Yes.
Greene,
Yes.
Styles,
Yes.
Doden.
Yes.
Thank you.
And we're running out of business.
Frank, I have a question. I know that the group about the zoning pulled that. Are we going to consider it or talk about it, or is that not something we talk about at a planning commission meeting?
No, I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, they submitted this, their suggestions for zoning changes. And I just wondered, is that something that we will discuss, should discuss, or is that being set aside until they come back and then we would discuss it?
My impression is that with their particular ideas, that they would come back to us. And then we discuss, probably with the complexity of zoning, probably form some sort of committee. I know you were talking about that earlier.
Okay.
Because zoning extends into an awful lot of aspects of life. And so if you change something here, there's going to be lots of other things over here that are going to be affected by the change you make over here. And it's sort of the job of planning commission to, through the process, try to think through and anticipate as many of those potential problems as possible. So I would anticipate at some point it will come back to us, because I think it is certainly worth talking about and needs to be talked about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does answer my question.
But as far as that committee that's working on that, that's still, they're planning on going to council first, as I understand it. So,
Okay.
what about agenda planning? Anything we need to know there?
Well, August 23rd is when we're going to have our next meeting, because we decided with Judy being gone and council not doing anything in the first part of August, we would just go ahead and schedule it for later. That was probably a good idea when it comes to the Kinney farm, because they're still working on that. They have ran into some concerns with the sanitary, and if they're going to have to do a lift station, their engineers are working on that. So hopefully, hopefully we will have that. If we do approve that, then I'll turn that recommendation around and get it for council's first meeting in September. And And then if there's any, I haven't had anything else really that has come up yet. We may have some more. I'm sure we'll have something else that comes through, a conditional use hearing or something. But that's about it.
So we don't have a meeting earlier in August. We only have the August 23rd.
Mhm.
And that meeting's at 7?
Correct.
Okay.
And theoretically,
So-
theoretically in person, depending on what COVID's doing, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, when Judy how did that change? Was it something that you then decided to change to virtual, or was that a council decision? Or?
Well, you know, you have the latitude, Planning Commission and BZA have the latitude at any point really to hold a virtual meeting. For any reason, really, as long as the technology is available and the chair has consulted with staff to assure that there's full access for anyone that needs access, you know. So I had found out that the Greene County went into high transmission. Frank actually contacted me as I contacted him. I just didn't have a working phone. And we both felt that it would be better to just go ahead and meet virtually.
Yeah.
It was lucky. I mean, it was a pretty light agenda for this meeting as well, so that fell out well as well. So all things considered, but
Good call.
all right.
Can-
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, Gavin.
Just similar to Susan's question, so like the letter that was about the parking minimums, is that something that we should talk about, or what happens with that? Like, I don't know. Sorry for my lack of knowledge.
Well, I mean, any planning commission member who wants to put it on the agenda can request that it gets put on the agenda, and then it would be discussed at that point. I mean, I'm assuming that's how it would work, same as councils, or maybe for a future meeting.
Okay. Well, I'll check in with others first. We don't need to put it on agenda. I'm trying to understand the way the process works. Thank you.
Yeah, I know the parking minimums is something that planning commission, we'd already discussed and had requested council remove those parking minimums. We really found them to be pretty useless when it comes to different businesses downtown. We're not going to be able to create any more parking. Well, I won't say we can't, we could, but I mean that we wouldn't be like paving over any green space areas to make more parking. So it's kind of this exercise that we go through. And at the end of the day, it's, when you have different buildings and different businesses all using the same parking lots, we don't really have a way to factor that use. So we just said, why are we doing this? And we had made that suggestion. Council didn't have an appetite for changing it at that time. But I think that when we go through the zoning code, that's where we can, again, maybe make that request.
And we were only discussing doing away with minimums for the downtown area, the businesses. Is that correct? We were not talking about residential.
At that time, we were really focused on downtown.
Yeah.
Now that could change, but I mean, we were really hyper focused on the downtown area. Especially, we had that the comedy club coming, and there was other, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Any other questions or concerns from anybody? Okay, I'll move that we adjourn.
I second.
Anybody opposed to adjourning, please say so. Otherwise,
No.
Okay.
everybody's saying aye. All right.
All right. Good night.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Y'all, see you later.
Thanks.
Yeah.